Hello, beautiful souls. So I was just reading quite a long time ago. I did a workshop with Rebecca Campbell. So she does those cool angel cards, starseed cards, and it was called the Cosmic Blueprint. And I was actually just having a look at it, and it references Lemuria. And Lemuria is something that has come up for me quite a bit. Like we often hear about Atlantis, and that, a lot of people, a lot of souls here now were here at the time of Atlantis. And we're hearing more about Lamoria, but not quite as much. And a few people have told me the reason I am living in New Zealand is because it has the frequency of Lemuria. But a lot of countries, a lot of places have the frequency of Lemuria as well. But yeah, so it was interesting. So I thought I would read out what Rebecca Campbell had written about Lemuria because I find it quite interesting. So Lemuria or Mu, somebody told me it's I don't know, it's pronounced differently, but I don't know, it's very hard. I'm from New Zealand, so I always pronounce things differently. So excuse me if I am saying it incorrectly. It's lesser known than Atlantis. So it's believed by many as existing before and during the time of Atlantis. It's a continent where heaven really was a place on earth. So the Lamorians were a peaceful, highly intelligent race of people that existed millions of years ago. Now, she said millions of years ago, but it's very hard when I tune in to the Akashic records and there is no linear time. Everything's happening now. So Lamoria is still happening now. It's just on another frequency. So a soul still can incarnate into their Lamoria frequency, and also our we can go back to memories from Lamoria now, which creates Lamoria now. Yeah, I know it's very confusing. This quantum time is this can make you go crazy. So in Lamoria, life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. All knew that a mosquito was no worse than them, and the sun no better. In the 19th century, biologists discovered that there was similar flora and fauna in southern India and Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, and southern Africa. Philip L. Shetler proposed the idea of a land bridge between southern India and southern Africa that many then believed was the lost continent of Lemuria. But it is believed that Lemuria or Mu existed where the Pacific and Indian Oceans are now. So with pockets of places such as Hawaii, South Pacific, Easter Island, Fiji, New Zealand, Asia, and Australia still holding the frequency of Lemuria today. So Rebecca Campbell said she was called to spend extended time on Hawaii's oldest island. So some people believe it still holds the frequency of Lemuria and could have possibly been the capital. Hawaii, ooh, island, it could have been the capital on Hawaii, capital of Lemuria. I really want to go to Hawaii at the moment. I've got such a craving to go to Hawaii. Maybe that's why. Some people believe it still holds the frequency of Lemuria and I feel this frequency when I am in places like this, especially when I'm in crystal clear water. So Rebecca Campbell believes that the first wave of starseeds to come to Earth lived on the continent of Lamoria. So Rebecca Campbell remembers Lamoria. It's one of clear waters, crystal mountains with juicy fruit, breathtaking flowers, a paradise, Garden of Eden type of feeling, We were at one with nature and saw everything around us as sentient beings. We communicated with trees, flowers, and animals. I've tuned in before. I thought it was a past life, but I'm not sure if it's somebody else's past life. I really need to work on distinguishing between past lives. But I have felt that like we're just one with everything, one with nature, a complete remembrance of who we were, who we are. We remembered that we're part of the universe, that nature was a part of us. Yeah, beautiful. So the beings of Lemuria had special gifts. All were healers. All were team orientated and focused on one love. Ooh, sounds like me, one love. We had a soul family type vibe. Oh, she's explaining my vibe. We were shapeshifters with an ability to change form. We're able to use telepathy and could also move in a similar way to whales, dolphins, and birds, both on land, through the air, and in the water. Ooh, I've often felt like a mermaid, that I could swim like a mermaid. I've often felt like I could fly. I mean, I know I can when I'm in other realities. Many myths speak of there being a great flood or cataclysm which brought about the end and sinking of Lamoria. Some Lamorians went into the ocean and shape-shifted into whales, dolphins, and the mermaids. That's cool. Ooh, I got chills. Others went underground into tunnels deep in the earth. Others became the stone people, and others fled to other lands such as Atlantis, Avalon, and ancient Egypt. Those that survived went undercover, attempting to integrate with the rest of the planet. It is thought that the Lamorians became the shamans and healers of the globe, sharing their healing gifts and passing them on. This may be why This may be why so many of the world's religions, lineages, and healing modalities are similar to when you break them down in essence, because they came from the same place, Lemuria. Some believe that there is a Lamorian civilization living within and underneath Mount Shasta, a volcano in California. Ooh, there's been a lot about Mount Shasta lately. A lot of ET stuff going on, like cloaked spacecrafts and all that stuff. Mount Shasta, there is something going on. At the end of the age of Lemuria, the Lamorians did what they could to store their wisdom by coding into stones and crystals. When Rebecca was in Kauai, is it Kauai? From the island of Hawaii? Kauai? Oh, no, sorry. So bad at pronunciation. I crossed paths with a shaman who was trained by a lineage of Kauai shamans, and she took me to ancient Lamorian guardian stones. Oh my gosh, that held so much wisdom in them. Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, so I had a dream, but it wasn't a dream the other night. It was the guides showing me ancient stones in Hawaii, in the portlands of Hawaii, and that I should go to these stones. And then now, of course, I'm reading something about ancient Lamorian guardian stones in Hawaii. Of course, the universe made me read this. This book I just found that I haven't seen in ages of Rebecca's Campbell's workshop that I did. Wow, crazy. So perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on earth. You know, that's our new earth, people. That's what we're creating, you and I. Perhaps you are part of the transition team who are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on planet Earth now. Yeah, that's us. That's why we're here. That's why you're listening to this. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lamoria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible, and while at times it may feel like you are alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land. Keep doing what you are doing and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to first heal ourselves. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria. Ooh, that is pretty cool. Okay, well, there's a little bit about Lemuria from Rebecca Campbell. So yeah, if you haven't checked out her cards, her angel cards, Starseed cards, Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Knoll does the artwork. Oh, they're just so pretty and beautiful. And the information always resonates with me. So yeah, so thank you guys. Actually, maybe I should I pull a card? My other ones are actually at my client room, but I'll just hang on. I'll just come up here. I've got the Rose Oracle. Rose Oracle. Now these ones, the artwork wasn't actually by Danielle Knoll. This was Katie Louise, but I'll pull a card for all of us, and we'll see what the Rebecca Campbell card says. Okay, which one are we going to choose, people? Okay, breath in, breath out. What have we got? So we have got come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance. Sorry, it says receive abundance and desires. Okay, so I wonder what come to me says on the actual, I might have to, oh, there it is. Okay, so the little book says, come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. Have you ever noticed how in summer, when the roses are at their fullest and their scent is hanging in the air, bees and other pollinators suddenly appear? Pollination happens when pollen from one plant mixes with pollen from another, or is transferred from the stigma of one flower to the stigma of another. Roses don't go running all over the place, reaching and grabbing. Rather, they rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bees. It's never grasping or overstretching. It embraces what it is fully and allows life to come to it. It receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blooms regardless. This card is about receiving abundance, rose style. It's an invitation to receive the sweetness of your life, to embrace the magnificence of who you are, and also to open yourself up to the possibility of receiving what you yearn for deeply, to be clear on what you desire, to trust that all that's meant for you wants to come to you. Just state your desires out loud and let your yearnings be known, to ask for what you desire. Don't reach or grasp. Don't strive, control, or manipulate. That will leave you exhausted, parched, and brittle. This card delivers the message that true, sustainable abundance is coming. Connect with your essential true nature. Be unashamed of what you desire. And when it comes, relish each minute. Soul inquiry, what do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive? How can you attract like a flower? Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.